Hello, Miss Renuka. It's been such a long time.
Long time.
I
Hi, Erik.
know. So you were sharing a really cool story about how Erik has become a miraculous healer, and you can attest to that from a personal standpoint. Before we go on to the topic of the day, hi Erik. Tell everybody about that.
So suddenly I got this temperature and it was 103 degree, and I just called him and I asked him, do I really need to postpone the recording today with you? And he said, nothing doing. You will not postpone it. It's been too long. And
Yeah.
he said, I'll heal you and you just need to rest. And it took him half an hour, odd 30 minutes, and my temperature was back to normal. And I took a rest of half an hour, and here I am. So it's one of the many miraculous episodes I have experienced with him. So many times I don't even need to sit and put an intention or direct his energies. I just need to call him and tell him, this friend of mine, she's suffering from this pain, she's suffering from this issue, can you please go and heal her? And she's not even aware, and yet she feels much better. And it's so miraculous. You just
That's
need an
awesome.
intention.
Sorry that I got the dogs playing right here. I can't let them out because it's bitter cold, but sorry. Okay, go ahead.
So he
No.
is a miraculous healer, and there are so many healing modalities that we can use with him. There is a self-healing modality where you can connect directly with him, call on him for healing, and you can sit for healing sessions with me also. But I've had wonderful miraculous results. Your state of being is instantly uplifted, with his energies. He's amazing that way. So
That's
that's what I've
awesome,
been
Erik.
working on. Yeah.
I'm so proud of you, my baby. So what is Professor Erik going to talk to us about today?
He's saying, Mom, there's so much want to talk about. There's so much going on. But since we have started with this theory of soul plan, and I just need to clarify so many concepts connected to it. How is soul plan and karma connected? How is soul plan and spiritual amnesia connected with each other? But today we are going to discuss why and how do we go astray from our soul plan. There are many reasons why it happens. And let's he's saying we know that the success of any particular lifetime is how well we follow the soul plan. And spiritual amnesia being that technical default factor which always comes into the picture, which we can't override. It is there, and it is there because it is needed. But that is the main reason, but we'll not go into it because it's a technical thing. It's already there. today
Okay.
we'll discuss Today we'll discuss major reasons why and how we go astray from our soul plan, and end up making choices which do not support our growth as a soul in the body. And that's why we keep coming back with every reincarnation. So you think that's where we are stuck. That's what we call being stuck in the reincarnation wheel, because it just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
And let's just say reincarnation is not so pleasant. With every lifetime the
Yeah.
lessons get difficult, our physical reality get difficult.
Yeah.
And to come out of it and to then exist in the spirit world in a higher reality closest to our creator is what every soul aspires to do. But today he's saying we are going to talk about four major reasons. He's saying there are many reasons, there are many subjective reasons. Sorry.
Oh, bless you.
In every lifetime there are there are so many reasons why a soul goes completely astray and that lifetime is lost. The
Mm.
purpose in that lifetime is not achieved, and that's what makes the reincarnation cycle so longer. So he's saying I'm going to discuss those four major reasons so that there is more awareness in our living. There is more awareness in the way we live our life, and it helps us come back to our soul plan.
Okay.
So he's saying the first and the most common is the societal conditionings. He's saying the societal conditionings, he's saying the cultural conditionings,
Oh
he's
God,
saying
yeah.
the upbringing. We are so much defined, we are so much into them that so many times we make choices um, because of those conditionings. And this is what leads to not making choices according to a soul
Yeah.
plan. So he's saying it's very important we understand that the choices we have planned in our soul plan are based on our reality as a soul, not on our reality as a body.
Oh,
And
yeah.
while we are in the body, if we try and disengage from all those factors which affect us, it will always help us walk our soul plan. And he's saying, Mom, it's not only about the growth. So many times we suffer more because we are going astray from our soul plan.
Yeah.
He's saying if we walk according to our soul plan, we have not chosen so much of that pain and suffering.
So you're saying in part, Eric, that we are so influenced by upbringing, siblings, social media, all that kind of stuff. That's a free will of others that is it could be prompting us to go astray from our soul plan.
Yes, he's saying so many
Oh God.
choices
Okay,
that
keep
we make,
talking.
so many choices that we make are so much influenced by all of these things that the choices are not so much coming from our soul plan planning,
Okay.
and that makes us go away from it. So I think it's very important to follow the soul plan because that's the kind of plan you chose with a targeted growth. But even if you keep the growth aside, so many of us are suffering because we are not working as per our soul plan. We go completely tangent to our soul plan, and the suffering that we receive we never chose.
Yeah.
Because he's saying, Mom, as a soul, I have been to the physical world so many times. I'm very much conscious and sure what I'll not be able to take.
Yeah.
So I only choose as much suffering as much I know I'll be able to take.
Yeah.
And right now, you look around yourself, people are suffering so much. They're not
Mm,
able to go through it. And
yeah.
all this happens because we go astray from our soul plan.
Yeah.
So he's saying it's important we understand how to stick to a soul plan, not only for the growth, but also to make our lifetime easier,
Yeah.
make our physical reality easier for us to go through it. So he's saying one is these societal conditionings where you're so much influenced by the definitions of right and wrong, what the society expects from us. So we make choices based
No.
we make choices based on the society's expectations
Hmm.
and not according to a soul plan. Many times they don't match because it's completely different. So that is one thing. The
Okay.
second aspect, the second aspect he's saying are our emotions.
Mm, yeah.
So he's saying so many times we make choices based on our emotions. We
That's
get
true.
we get
Like
carried.
he taught us, we should feel first and then think and then make a choice
Exactly.
instead of thinking first and let that stimulate some sort of emotion all based on, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
that's so true. He's saying so many times we are not aware that we are being governed by our emotions so strongly that we are getting carried away by our emotions. So we are making choices and decisions based on those imbalanced emotions, those extreme emotions. And when you do that, Mom, it cannot coordinate with the soul plan choices because there we are not choosing lessons according to our emotions. Here there we don't have those kind of mental emotions that we feel and experience while we are in the body.
Right.
So he's saying that can be corrected by being aware that we are not making decisions and choices based on our emotions, but based on our inner core or inner essence of what we feel is right.
Our intuition based
Yeah.
feelings instead of our just human crazy emotions. So can you give us a specific example, Eric? Because you're
Yeah.
so good at that.
Yeah, he's saying supposedly, Mom, I have a best friend and he or she is in trouble. And I know helping this friend in that particular moment will create some issues for myself. Now, as a friend, I will feel pulled or I'll feel emotional enough to still help, no matter how much it affects me. There are so many ways in which we help and we end up ourselves getting affected. You think
Right.
in that moment of time, maybe that friend has to learn a particular lesson from that situation. But I interfere because of my emotions, because of the attachment that I'm feeling for that friend. And that friend comes out of that difficult situation and is not able to learn what he or she wanted to learn based on the soul plan choice. He's
Yeah.
saying so many times we imbalance those karmic contracts. He's saying that's why I don't say don't help.
Yeah, it's like
I
saving a drowning person. Sometimes they get panicky and you both end up drowning.
Yes, exactly. See, those kind of situations, we really need to be aware that whatever choice we are making, whatever decision we are
Right.
making, is not based on extreme or imbalanced emotions, but
Right.
based on what your heart is telling you, what your soul essence is telling you. He's saying, Mom, we all have this inbuilt mechanism. And he's saying, don't forget this soul, the soul who planned the soul plan, is what is in this body. The soul memory of that soul plan is in the soul. You just need to activate that soul essence within yourself so that you automatically start following that soul plan, because it is already in the soul, in the consciousness. We have just forgotten it.
Yeah.
And once that soul essence is activated, we'll automatically work according to that and not according to all these factors which affect us. And he's saying that's why, Mom, we say meditation, we say prayers, we say all these spiritual practices, because it connects you back to your inner core.
Yeah.
Once you are connected to your core, you will not go astray. You will automatically do things according to your soul plan because it's within you. You are connected to that soul essence. And even though you don't remember it specifically, you will still act accordingly, saying, Mom, have you experienced those situations where you doing a certain act or you making a certain choice is
Mm.
wrong according to society, so called wrong according to society, but you feel this is your right, this
Right.
you should do it. He's saying that's what I'm talking about. Even though it appears to be so called wrong according to the societal definitions, according to the cultural
No, it's
sense,
right.
but you know it's right for you.
So follow
He's
your
saying
heart. Following your
yes.
heart will, and you'll end up following your soul plan, right?
Yes, exactly. Saying, but Mom, it's easier said than done, because
Yeah.
you how do you know what is your heart saying? So many times the mind, which is the base, which is the seat for all your emotions, will interfere. And
Yes.
you will, so many times we get confused, oh, but what is it that my heart wants? It can be an emotional setup coming from the mind. And I think it's
No.
it's difficult. It's difficult to understand the difference, but it can easily be achieved if daily you're going within yourself, you're connecting to your core, you're connecting to your essence. And think this is where meditation comes in, because in meditation you just calm down your mind. Once your mind is calmed down, the inner soul essence is gets activated. Otherwise, the inner soul essence is always bombarded by the mind, by the emotions, by the memories, by the
Yeah.
conditionings. So I think that's why meditation has such huge importance. Not many people realize why they are meditating, why they should be meditating. But there are many reasons. I'm saying it's not only through meditation, there are many other ways to connect back to your soul essence. But we need to understand the definitions of right and wrong, the so called definitions of right and wrong according to this world, has got nothing to do with the soul plan choices. He's
Yeah.
saying it's very much possible a soul has chosen to, to do any illegal activity which is considered illegal according to the legality of any country, but it has chosen to do it because the opposite person needs to learn something from it.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
saying now in that scenario, if you're too much conditioned by the culture, by the legal system, by the fears, that contract does not come to fruition.
Yeah.
But he's saying it's very difficult to understand that, and it's more of a practice where you keep making decisions and choices with so much awareness about what you are feeling about them, not about the factors which are influencing your consciousness at that particular point of time. He's
All right.
saying the
So wait. So what if it's my in my contract to carjack someone? Then I go in and say, okay, yeah, I'm supposed to do this so that person can learn about blah, blah, blah. That's a hard sell, Eric, really.
it is. He's saying, Mom, it's more about spontaneous. Most of these negative, so-called negative acts, which have this negative connotation according to the
Yeah.
societal definition, they are mostly spontaneous things.
Okay.
You just do it because you feel right to do it.
Okay.
And that's why you shouldn't stop yourself. If you feel like doing it, it is not wrong.
Okay.
If you feel like, and if you feel restless in not doing it, it is not wrong. He's saying your soul will speak to you, mom.
Okay.
You will know this
It
is what you
feels
need.
different. My voice inside feels different than my mind and the emotion my mind generates,
Yes, yes.
It
I
just
think
feels like it's
once
almost
you,
like how it feels when you know an absolute truth.
yes,
It's like kind of soul level. You guys probably all understand that feeling.
yes,
It's
because
just
we
meditation will
we work,
help you, I guess.
yeah, we work on those subtle messages coming from spirit. So that is also more you connect to your inner essence. I think psychic abilities, mediumship abilities are so much connected to this. Until unless you're not connected to your soul essence, how will you be able to connect with another soul, with another spirit? So yes, but he's saying, mom, the most important thing is awareness. What are the paradigms you're basing your choices and your decisions on? Is it because you're emotional? Is it because you're influenced by definitions of right and wrong? Is
Yeah.
it because you're influenced by your ego? He's saying that's the third factor, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
He's saying, mom, ego, we all like to massage our ego. We like to be a goody goody person. We like to do right by ourselves, right by society, right by others. And that is not you being goody goody or right. No, that is you only massaging your ego. And you are not your ego, you are a soul.
Right.
So even those choices take you away from the soul plan, because all you're doing is strengthening your body consciousness, strengthening your ego, which is not needed.
Right.
Ego is also one major factor where you feel you have to help someone, you have to do good.
Oh, yeah.
He's saying, I'm not saying we shouldn't do good. He's saying,
No, of
I'm
course
not
not.
saying that. But you have to be very, you have to have a good interpretation of what you are doing, why you are doing, and is it connecting to your soul essence? Or
Right.
you are doing it for any artificial reasons or artificial conditionings in that particular point of time. He's saying
Okay.
it's always about going within and understanding, is it you doing this, saying this, being in this relationship, doing this job, taking whatever shit, taking whatever abuse, is it you?
Yeah. Right. Right.
Yes,
Okay.
and he's
Well,
saying,
can you use divination process like, how you can stand up and, well, you could just actually, there are ways you could talk to your higher self. My higher self, can you show me your yes and show me your no? And for me, the yes feels like something's bouncing up and down in the pranic tube in, here. And no feels differently. So you could talk to but you could also use a pendulum or muscle memory, right? I mean, like I stand up and I say higher self or Erik or whoever, show me your yes. And it seems like I always like sway forward a bit and no is backwards. And so can you use things like that to determine, you know, elements
so
of your
right now
soul
it's
plan?
me talking. Right now it's me talking. I'm not channeling Eric. According to my personal experience, what I have found, because I've been teaching mediumship to so many, what I have observed, and I'm not saying it happens all the time, but these divination techniques, not many understand, but so many of the times your subconscious impressions, your mind interferes in it. Even if, just take an example of pendulum douching. So
Yes.
you're holding the pendulum, and the pendulum is influenced by your energy, by your mind, by your subconscious mind. So many times it will show you and give you the answer which you want it to be, and that is more influenced by your mind and emotions, not by what the
Not the higher
spirit.
self or spirit. Yeah.
Yes.
So how can you avoid that? Because I can understand that. Can you put it on some stationary thing that you're not even touching, and uh, then it usually doesn't move at all. Like,
Yes, that's how I teach, because when you have some base and it's hanging through a base and you're not holding it, so that your energy is not affecting it.
okay.
That helps a lot, because that's when only the spirit is manipulating the pendulum and not your subconscious mind and your energy. Because he's saying, mom, so many times the subconscious mind is so powerful that before I can come in, or any spirit can come in and manipulate the energy of the pendulum, it's the subconscious already controlling the pendulum. So many times I have received answers which I want to receive and they have not come true. He's saying That does not mean you were not connecting. That does not mean the spirit was wrong. That only means your mind is so strong, your ego is so strong that it reached the pendulum before spirit. He's saying spirit is always subtle, it's only energy, but your mind is so powerful and you are holding it.
Yeah.
So
All right, so
there are,
can you, do they make pendulum stands of some sort, or how do you do
yeah,
it?
that's how I do it. I have stands made, and I just suspend the pendulum, and I am not touching it. I am not influencing it. I don't, even connect my third eye with the pendulum's energy. I just keep it and I just call Eric. And because, so
Okay.
many times when you are asking questions for yourself, if I'm asking questions or guidance for my own self, your mind will invariably interfere, because if I'm asking a question, obviously this issue is affecting me a lot.
Yeah.
If this issue is affecting me a lot, there are a lot of emotions attached to it. And when there are so many emotions attached to it, the spirit guidance is coming through the mind. Mind is the seat of emotions. So he's always taught me this, and I've taught in my spirit communication workshops. It's very interesting. So
Mm.
he's saying, "Mom, take a tea strainer. If you have a
Right.
strainer.
Yeah.
Now, initially, I am straining milk through it.
Okay.
Okay. Then I use the same strainer. Now, I'm not washing the strainer. The milk particles are still there. I have just
Okay.
once strained the milk. Now I am straining coffee through it, maybe. Now, when this coffee comes out, it will have some particles of the milk, very subtle. It
Right.
will still be coffee, but it will have some particles of milk, because while I was straining the milk, that strainer still have some residue of that milk. So he's saying that's how spirit communication works. Your mind is the strainer.
Whoa.
Your mind is the strainer. Your mind already has emotion, because your mind is the seat of emotions. It
Right.
already is imbibed. It already carries emotions, memories, impressions, not only of this lifetime, but other lifetimes also. So when the
Ah,
spirit is putting information in your mind, and when the information comes through the mind, this information is bound to be mixed or influenced by the emotions which were already present. So he's always given me that strainer example, where it's coming through your mind. Your
okay.
mind.
I'm going to pretty soon mute while you talk because Maria's coming in, so it's going to be a bark fest.
I
All
know,
right.
no problem. Yeah.
Go ahead. Keep talking, Eric.
So he's saying, Mom, mediumship is restricted that way, in the sense that every information you channel is coming through your mind. This is your mind, the strainer, and the spirit is pouring information through your mind. And when the information comes through the mind, whatever is in the mind, whatever memories or emotions, whatever, at that point of time, the strongest impression, the strongest emotion, invariably it will get affected with the information the spirit is trying to pour. Now, when that coffee is there, because the milk particles are so little, they were so light. When you drink the coffee, you will not feel so much of the milk. You'll not feel it. So, although you are channeling right, but you have to take into account that there are certain mental impressions and emotions which will get mixed with that information, and not every channeled information will be as pure, because this is how it works. The mind will always be there, and the spirit has to communicate through the mind. So you always have to take into account that much side effect and take it with a pinch of salt. Now, what happens with meditation is, so if I'm meditating and then I'm channeling, when
Right.
I'm meditating, these impressions, these emotions, they calm down at that particular point of time. How much of a strong impressions I'm feeling or the emotions I'm feeling, they calm down. They go and rest at a very deeper layer of the mind, and the mind is stable and calm. So the
Mm.
amount of that impression or that emotion getting mixed in spirit communication is very less, is so minimal, that it doesn't affect the essence of the channeling, the essence of the communication taking place. So he's saying you have to be aware when you are using divination techniques that there will be an element of the mind, and you have to try as much as possible to keep them at the lowest degree. It cannot be, of course, omitted completely, because the mind will always carry impressions. But yes, so he's saying, Mom, divination techniques, yes, they can help you. You can take them with a pinch of salt. But what I recommend is going within and feeling,
Okay.
going within and feeling, is this you who is making a choice, or is this a particular influence of any factor which is making a choice? Is it because of an emotion you're making this choice? Is it because of a conditioning? Is it that you want to massage your ego, that's why you're making this choice? You have to be yourself, you have to be who you are, and then you have to make a choice. That choice will surely match your soul plan. That's where you don't go astray. And he's saying, Mom, it's more like a practice. It's more like getting in tune and sync with soul plan. One choice will lead to another correct choice. Another correct choice will lead to another correct choice. And once you are on that target, once you are on that trajectory, you will automatically make choices later according to the soul plan only, because you are on that path.
Well, how can you tell if if you are astray? Well, are there any signs and symptoms?
He's saying, Mom, the most important sign is when you think that you are not able to take on the pain and suffering the life is throwing at you. If you think your life is getting more difficult than you can take, it's a major symptom or sign that you have gone astray from your soul plan, because your soul will not choose will choose suffering and pain as much as you won't be able to take it. It's very much intelligent. It has all the knowledge and resources when it's planning its soul plan in the spirit world. So the most important symptom is when you think that you're not able to deal with your life, the pain and suffering, you're not able to deal with it. That definitely means that you went astray, because he's saying, Mom, if this is the soul plan, I have every choice on this path, on this trajectory. If I go here, there'll be nothing, because I didn't plan anything on this trajectory. Everything is here. So when I'm going astray, I'm going here, I will have nothing. I lose my health, I lose my job, I lose my career,
Oh, yeah.
because I never chose anything on this path. I chose here, and I'm not walking that path.
So
But
if
he's saying,
you have a lot of little losses, like lose your job, bad luck, and all this stuff, that can be a sign of being astray? Or
you see,
shouldn't that
not,
be the suffering that you sometimes have to learn from, the polarity?
he's saying not always, Mom, because we do choose suffering to learn from it. But the
Right.
most important sign is that you're not able to take it. If
Well,
you're
I mean,
not able to take
Eric,
it,
I mean, what about extreme grief? When I lost you, I wasn't able to take it, frankly. I was not able to
he's saying,
take it
but Mom, you survived. He's saying, but Mom, you survived.
by the grace of God.
Yes. And it was meant to happen. So, yes, that pain was meant to teach you. Yes, you felt it much more extremely than planned, but you survived. And that's what shows that it was planned.
Mm,
People don't survive choices which they never made.
yeah. Okay.
So,
Anything
that's
else?
the. He's saying definitions of right and wrong. He's saying there are no rights and wrongs. So many times we want to be right, according to the society, according to our
Yeah.
parents, according to our lovers, according to the relationships, according to our ego.
Yeah.
He's
And
saying we need
ego
to be
really
right
makes
about
that
it.
I want to be right. I am right. Yeah,
He's saying
exactly.
we need to be rising above all of this and follow our heart and do what comes to us and not judge ourselves so much.
Yeah. Or judge
That
others.
or
Yeah.
judge others. He's saying that's when you are connecting to your soul essence. You are working as per your soul plan, because Mom, don't forget, there are choices in our soul plan which are not so good, the so-called good. We choose the so-called wrong things also. We choose to hurt people so that they learn. This is our contract. If we are not hurt, we will not learn. If the opposite soul is not hurt, the opposite soul will not learn. And that's why there is hurt and pain in the first place in this physical world, or it wouldn't exist. Why would we go through pain and hurt? But so many times, we just uh, we just suppress so much of what we feel is right. So he's saying we have to rise above the definitions of right and wrong and make every decision and choice by connecting with your soul essence. So even if it's a wrong thing that I feel it's right, that's right for me because it's in my soul plan, and that's why I feel so strongly about it. And I have to go ahead and do it, no matter what the society says or no matter what my relationships think and feel about it.
But then can't people use this information to justify crime? Like I'm right to smash and grab, and because I don't have anything, and these people have more, and they won't miss it. And I mean, can that be a problem?
He's saying, Mom, such extreme acts are so much random and spontaneous.
Okay,
They're
back to
so
that.
much,
Yeah.
and they are so much influenced by emotions.
Okay.
There is hardly a well thought. There are very few well thought and well planned crimes. So many of crimes are crimes of passion, of where you lose yourself, where you are
Right.
influenced by extreme emotions. So you think most of it is not. But if it's in your soul plan, you will not be that kind of a person, and you will just do it. So
Okay.
you think
So,
there is a fine line between both these choices, but most of the crime, it will be spontaneous if it's chosen in the soul plan. It will not be thought of. If it's being thought of, that means you are governed by other negativities around you, and it's not
okay.
in your soul plan.
Oh, can you name something illegal that might be in a person's soul plan to do?
He's saying, Mom, so many of honor killings, so many of stampedes. There are many. He's saying even murders. He's saying even rape.
Oh,
So he's saying,
wow.
there are many instances, like we have had many instances like that in our Indian society, and what it has led to is a huge revolution where females and their protection and their safety and their rights are concerned. So you think when you see a huge awakening, upbringing happening because of certain crimes, it was chosen.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It
Right.
always leads to a greater good, either for the souls or for the society.
That's going to be a hard sell, though. But I
Yes.
understand, there are some things that have been horrible in our society that have brought about long periods of peace, for example, or
Lot of
as
awakening, lot of
unity.
awakening,
Hmm?
lot of awakening in the society, lot of upbringing in the society.
Right, right. That's
You
right.
think
Okay.
at every given point of time, the system needs to be shaken up, and these planned events, it helps, and then it helps the future generation coming in, the future souls coming in.
What about this whole situation with Ukraine? There could be a war, and it could be a lot of suffering and starvation and food shortages and just death, possibly. I mean, that's the one medium said that's like a 60% chance that it will happen. And Eric, you said that this is something that is meant to be to bring people together to help each other, sort of a
Yeah,
unity consciousness.
he's saying, Mom, every country has its karma within itself and with other
Hmm.
countries.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if my soul is planning to be born in Ukraine, I'll have those lessons where I'll go through this stuff. Even if I am choosing to go to war and die because of it. So you think all of this is so much chosen. These huge events is basically karma between two countries, and this always helps the residents, the nationalities, to rise, to rise when they go through injustice, when they go through pain. That's where they come together as a country,
Right.
as a nation, and
And
rise.
as a world, because what's interesting about the whole Ukraine situation is that there are a lot of people that are outside of Ukraine that are joining the military to help. They're not mercenaries. They just want to help because they feel like it's fighting for a way of life, for human dignity, for freedom. Um,
Mom, it's
so,
not
so that
easy. He's saying that's not easy. So imagine what a soul is learning, what that soul is learning, coming out of its fears, out of its shadows, and coming together in solidarity to help the fellow countrymen. So he's saying it's not easy, but the soul is learning and experiencing so much. So he's saying just like there is personal karma, and both the souls involved, the two souls involved, they rise and learn. This is more on the national level, and the collective is learning and growing and evolving.
yeah, but even people from the United States are enlisting in the Ukraine military. So it shows that the medium was Eric, what you said through the medium was right. There's sort of a collectiveness about this situation and a pull for unity.
Yes, it's
So
more on solidarity, and it's more on the lines of humanity also, Mom, and you will see that.
right. Okay. Very cool. Anything else you want to say about this topic, Eric? Fascinating.
Saying, I will speak more about how to stay in touch with herself, how to stay in connection with her soul plan, not because it's only the growth is the option, is the aim, but also to make our physical reality much more bearable over here. To,
Nice. I like that. That sounds good.
so
All
we'll
right.
be taking short topics which will help everybody understand who they are as a soul, what were they planning. It's like re-remembering.
Awesome. Hey, so how did the event go last week?
It was awesome. I trans channeled him. It was really awesome.
Oh, that's
He
awesome.
he plans the entire 3 day event. He plans what he's going to do. He literally pulled out so many pranks, so many revelations on the soul plan, on post life connects, past life connects. It's beautiful.
That's awesome. Well, you guys check out Renuka at channelingspiritworld.com. And anything else you want to say, Renuka?
That's it. I would like people to take advantage of healing sessions, and maybe Eric will allow me to teach a self healing modality where people can connect directly with him. But maybe that's for the next lecture because he's an awesome healer.
That's
Miraculous.
awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. I love you. Renuka, bye-bye. I love you too.
Bye.
Bye.